Hello guys, and welcome to Unit 20. Please get your PDF and open it to page 2, or you can read here with me. Let's go. Let's start with our vocabulary. All right, let's start here. Repeat: amusement park, art market, autograph, barbecue, camping, comedy, concert, excuse, street fair, art festival, food court, invitation, message, musical, musician, play, TV show, shower, trip, babysit, call you back, go out with, have to, help, need to, want to, would like to, would love to, amazing, already, around, at home, at school, at work, at the beach, at the library, at the mall, in bed, in class, in Mexico, in a meeting, in the hospital, in the shower, on her break, on a trip, on vacation, to be born, to grow up, in time, on time, early, late. All right, so let's take a look and see if we have any comments to make about any words here. Okay, let me look. Trip is viagem, right? And how do you say viajar in English, the verb? Do you remember? To travel, to travel. To travel is viajar and trip is viagem. A curiosity is that to trip is a verb. To trip is a verb, but to trip means tropeçar, and to travel, viajar. So sometimes English could be a crazy language. Yep. All right, so let me see here. Would like, gostaria, right? Would love, adoraria. Okay. Here we have some prepositions. You see, you are going to learn prepositions by studying them, memorizing them, okay? So, let me see. There is something else here. Oh, okay. So, on a trip, numa viagem, em uma viagem. Now the word vacation, repeat, vacation. All right, vacation, right? To be born, nascer. To grow up, crescer, right? Okay, now, let's take a look at our grammar. On page 3 here, we're going to study the past of verb to be, okay? We've already studied the present, so let's take a look at the present just to refresh your mind. Repeat, I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, they are. Remember that verb to be could be both, in Portuguese, ser or estar. It will depend on the context, okay? Now let's take a look at the past. Repeat, I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, they were. Okay, so I've put the translation here. So you see that we use was for I, he, she, it. And we use were for you, we, and they. All right, fine. Now let's take a look. So let me open my board, for example, my whiteboard here, to show you a few examples of how we could use that. Okay, for example, here, if we say, ela estava aqui. Let me change the language here. Okay. She was here. Ela estava aqui. Or she was a doctor. Ela era médica. Okay, she was a doctor. Now, how do you say está chovendo in English? Está chovendo. It's raining, right? It's raining. And in the past, it was raining. Estava chovendo. Okay? Estava chovendo. So how do you say eu estou estudando? I'm studying. Eu estou estudando. Eu estava estudando. I was studying. Okay? All right. Now, it's interesting because in the past, we are not going to have a contraction. We have contractions for the present here, for verb to be. But in the past, we're going to have to write was and were, no contractions, okay? So I could say, for example, they're speaking English. And in the past, they were speaking English. Okay, they were speaking English. All right, now let's take a look at the negative form. How are we going to use the negative form? Okay, I'm going to erase my board here. Look, I say, for example, I was here. Negative. I wasn't here. I wasn't. Repeat, wasn't. I wasn't here. And if you say it was raining. Estava chovendo. And the negative, it wasn't raining. Okay, it wasn't raining. All right. Now, for the plural form, let's see. We were at the hair salon. We were at the hair salon. Nós estávamos no salão de beleza, right? We were at the hair salon. Now, the negative. We weren't. Repeat, weren't. Weren't. We weren't at the hair salon. Okay, I said that we don't have a contraction between the subject and the verb, right? Like I was, no contraction. You were, he was, she was, no contraction. But obviously, you can use a contraction between was and not, and were and not, okay? So, fine. Now, how are we going to make the questions then? Well, we're talking about verb to be here. So, you're going to invert, okay? So, for example, you have, she was nice. Ela foi legal, okay? ou ela era legal. It depends on the context. Now, how are we going to ask the question? You invert. Was she nice? Was she nice? Was she nice? The short answer, yes, she was. Or, no, she wasn't. Okay? Now, another question. Let's say a sentence here. They were eating pizza. Okay? Eles estavam comendo pizza. They were eating pizza. Now, for you to ask the question, you invert. So, were they eating pizza? Short answers. Yes, they were. And are? No, they weren't. Yes, they were. No, they weren't. Okay? All right. So now let me go back to our grammar. I'm going to clear this and go back to the PDF. Okay. Now, we also have the verb to be born, which is nascer, right? Literally, to be born is ser gerado. So we're going to use verb to be and then the word born. Okay, so let's take a look at some examples. I was born in Brazil. Repeat. I wasn't born in Argentina. You were born in Chile. You weren't born in the UK. She was born in the US. She wasn't born in Brazil. They were all born here. They weren't born abroad. So basically, this verb is usually used in the past, okay, to be born. That's it, usually used in the past. Now, here we have the verb to be born used with WH words. Repeat, where were you born? I was born in South Africa. When were you born? I was born in 1976. And when you have these years here, you read 2 and 2. So 1976. You don't read 1976. No, 1976. Okay. Where was your father born? He was born in 1953. When was your mother born? She was born in 1955. Let's continue here. How was your weekend? My weekend was great. How old were you when you started elementary school? I was 7. So when you're talking about age, you're going to use verb to be in the past too. So for example, how old are you? Quantos anos você tem? I'm 46. Eu tenho 46. Now in the past, how old were you last year? Quantos anos você tinha ano passado? How old were you last year? Oh, I was 45. Okay. Now, how was your vacation? It was okay. How was the weather? It was raining all the time. What were you doing last night? I was studying for a test. What was Mary doing last week? She was working on a special project. What was your favorite class in high school? It was chemistry. What were your favorite classes? They were English and physics. What was your least favorite class? It was Portuguese. And least favorite here is menos favorito, right? Okay, let's continue. Who was your best friend in middle school? His name was Steven. Who were your favorite teachers? My favorite teachers were Mr. Casas and Mrs. Parker, or Mrs. Casas. What was he like? Or what was she like? She was really friendly and funny. Remember that when you use what to be like, you are asking for a description, right? Like, what's your apartment like? Como é o seu apartamento? What's your schedule like? Como é o seu horário? Okay, so you can use that in the past as well. So, what was your apartment like? Como era o seu apartamento? What was your schedule like? Como era o seu horário? Okay, all right. So I guess this is it. This is the past verb to be. Okay. And we also studied the verb to be born. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this class. I hope that you've learned something else for to improve your English, and I'll see you next class. Thanks for watching.